everybody, my name is Mindy Banks. I'm the Flip Flop Chef. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I want to share all about pressure cooking. So if you're not familiar with pressure cooking, or if you have a pressure cooker but maybe haven't used it very much, this is the video for you. Please comment as you're watching and let me know where you're watching from. And if you have any questions at any time, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you. So first of all, this is Pampered Chef's quick cooker. It is a pressure cooker. It has 16 pre-programmed settings that will help you make pretty much anything that you can imagine. I'm going to show you quite a few things today that I've already made ahead of time so that you can see all the great things that you can do with your pressure cooker. So first of all, I want to let you know that in my recipe group, which you can find at theflipflopchef.com, you're going to find this downloadable printable. So you can print this off, put it in your kitchen so that you have it. It has instructions on how to reheat food using your pressure cooker and some of our accessories. So I will let you know, if you have the 6 or 8 quart Instapot, our accessories are going to work in that product as well. But if you have the Pampered Chef's quick cooker, you're going to be able to use all of these products that I show you today. So you'll be able to print the quick cooker tips and accessories sheet right out of the recipe group. And then there's also a digital copy of our quick cooking guide. So this is a really great resource regardless of what brand pressure cooker you're using. There are cooking guides that you can print off individually and tape to the inside of a cabinet door. You'll notice behind me I have another pressure cooker here. I have those guides printed out and taped to the inside of those 2 cabinet doors above it so that it's always there for me. So if I'm cooking, I can just open it up, check the guide so that I know how long to cook my food. So this is available as a printed copy for $2. Contact me if you're interested in getting one of these, or you can get the digital copy for free at theflipflopchef.com. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that I have sitting here on the counter. I'm going to tell you about quite a few different things that I've already made, and then I'll tell you about some other things that you can do with your pressure cooker. So this is our 2 quart size quick stir pitcher, and in here I have some blueberry lime infused water, and I made that using just the inner pot of the quick cooker. It's very quick, very easy, and all the recipes that I'm going to mention today, you can find them in my recipe group at theflipflopchef.com. All I'm going to do to this later on when I'm ready to serve it is I'm going to add some sparkling water. You could, of course, use regular tap water or bottled water if you want, but you want to add a little bit of extra water to what you've got here. It's kind of like, it's a little bit potent without some extra water added into it. So this is blueberry lime. You could use any fruits that you'd like to make your own infused water, and then add some sparkling water. I'm going to set things behind me as we talk about them, so hopefully I don't forget anything. So another thing that I really love making in my pressure cooker is homemade vanilla extract. So I have bourbon vanilla, and I started with this bottle of bourbon and 10 vanilla beans. If you don't know where to get vanilla beans, if you have stores in your area that sell them, you can certainly get them in the stores. However, I ordered mine on Amazon. You want to make sure that you have grade B vanilla beans to make sure that you get the best vanilla extract. There's another video in the same page that shows you how to make this vanilla. So you'll see that I've used quite a bit of this, and I've shared a little bit as well. I want to show you these cute little bottles. I'll zoom in and show you. You can use this to make gifts for your friends and family, and put a cute little label on it. I've got the bourbon vanilla, and I've also got one for elderberry syrup, which I'll tell you about in just a second. So you can make homemade vanilla extract. So let me set this aside. You can also make the elderberry syrup that I was just mentioning. So the newest recipe that I've tried several. I think I like this one the best, and I'll share it in my recipe group as well. But it gave me 2 full bottles of elderberry syrup, and I ordered the elderberries on Amazon as well. So very easy to make. It has a 7-minute pressure cooking time right here in the quick cooker. So these are really cute. You do want to keep your elderberry refrigerated, and it will stay fresh for about 3 months. So the next idea is these really fun tie-dye Easter eggs. So I made these with my twins, and we used some silk ties. It's pretty cool, and there's instructions on how to do this in the recipe group as well. So I'll show you these first. These are kind of dull. We used a lighter colored tie, and it didn't really turn out so good. So we went to Goodwill, and we found a really pretty blue tie with all these circles, and then we found an awesome M&M tie. The M&M tie was totally the best of the batch. These were really easy to make. All you do is you cut out 6 by 6 squares of the tie. So you're going to cut the tie up and then you need a white t-shirt and cut the same size squares of t-shirts. Wrap the egg with the brightest color of the tie up against the egg. Just wrap them with rubber bands, and I used one of our egg racks. So after you wrap the eggs with the tie, you're gonna wrap them again with the t-shirt, more rubber bands, put this inside of your quick cooker, and put your Easter eggs in here. Close the little handles, it'll help hold them down. Cover them completely with water, add a half a cup of vinegar, and I can't remember the steam time, but like I said, the recipe is in my recipe group. So that's a fun way to make Easter eggs, a different way than you may have been used to. Another thing that you can do is you can make bread in your quick cooker. Now, I've already used this ceramic pot for a different recipe that I'll tell you about in a second. So I'm improvising and using the kids' small deep covered baker. Now, this doesn't go in your pressure cooker, but this is what I baked the bread in. So since my ceramic pot was in use, I actually proofed the bread in the small glass mixing bowl. This actually comes as a set of 3. There's 2, 4, and 6 quart size bowls. So I used the 2 quart size. I'm gonna take the lid off of this so that you can see, you can just set this right down into the quick cooker. Now, please know that our glass containers are oven safe, and so anything that's oven safe is safe to use in the pressure cooker. But if you don't know if your glass bowls are oven safe, please do not use them in your pressure cooker. But this one's easy to reach in and get out. You don't really need to use the cradle for the proofing because it doesn't get very hot. You can just reach in and get it. So if you've never made bread before, there are extended periods of rising in some recipes. And so I made this beautiful multi-grain bread. It had 2 rise times, 2 proof settings in the quick cooker. I'll post the recipe in the recipe group so you can check it out. After the second proof, I put the bread dough into this mini deep covered baker, and at that point is when I brushed it with some melted honey or some warmed up honey and sprinkled it with a little bit more of the old-fashioned oats. Bake this for about 40 minutes without the lid. I just have the lid on there just for storage purposes to keep it fresher before we serve this. So you can make bread in your pressure cooker and then bake it in your oven. All right, next I want to talk to you about this ceramic pot. So the ceramic pot comes with this cradle so that you're able to easily put it inside your pressure cooker and take it out. So I'm going to borrow this inner pot, and I'll tell you more about this lid in a few minutes. But when you're making chocolate pudding, which is what I have in here, and key lime pie or any of these other recipes that you're going to use your ceramic pot for, you're going to want to make sure that you add water to your pressure cooker pot and that you're going to use this trivet. So you just set this down in there, and then this goes right into the cradle, and the cradle makes it easy for you to lower this into the pot. And then when you're ready to take it out, you do want to use microwave grips. These are perfect accessory for your pressure cooker. You want to use these to pull this out because it is going to be very, very hot. So definitely make sure you get you some microwave grips. These are fantastic. And of course you can use them taking things out of the microwave or taking things in and out of the oven. So obviously this is not hot. I'm just gonna pop this out and I wanna show you what's inside. So to make this recipe, which is in the quick cooking guide, you're gonna need some egg yolks, some 1 whole egg, some sugar, salt, heavy cream, milk, and some chocolate chips. And so you do bake it or pressure cook it with the silicone lid, which you'll see has steaming vents so that you are not getting a complete seal on this. But this is the chocolate pudding, and so I can't wait to try this. This is the first time that I have made the chocolate pudding. I'll save this rack because I'm going to show you something else with that. If you wanted to store this with a tight seal, you could cover it with aluminum foil, or you could use one of our silicone lids on top of the ceramic pot. So the ceramic pot is an accessory sold by the Pampered Chef. Everything I'm going to show you today is something that you can order from me. So let's pretend for a minute that you made a soup or a large pot of food and you have leftovers. So your family didn't eat it all and you want to save it for the next meal. So instead of transferring your leftovers from this pot and transferring them into maybe like this leak-proof storage container, you can actually take our medium-sized stretch fit silicone cover and you can stretch this lid right over the top just like this and store it in the refrigerator. When I made this yogurt, which I'll tell you about in a second, the refrigeration step is refrigerated right in this inner pot, and I use the silicone lid on the top. So it really does come in handy. Then you can just take the silicone lid off, put it right into your quick cooker when you're ready to reheat. This does have a vented lid, so you could use this on, say, some glass containers or maybe some non-Pampered Chef containers and put it in the oven or in the microwave. So these are silicone, so they are also oven safe. All right, so let's talk about how I made the yogurt. So you see this is an 8 1/4 cup container. I have eaten very little of this, so you can see that it fills this completely full. And I am blown away by how easy it is to make yogurt. And this is a cold start recipe, so there's no boiling, there's no ice bath. You basically just put everything in, wait for it to finish, and then refrigerate it overnight. You don't have to strain the yogurt either. So it's the easiest recipe I've seen, and it is amazing. So all you're gonna need is 1 bottle of this. I'll zoom in so you can see these ingredients. So this is the Fairlife whole milk. I do have friends who have used the 2%, but they say that the whole milk does tend to work a little bit better. You get a thicker yogurt that way. And so this is a shelf-stable milk. It's ultra filtered, and you can get that at the grocery store, and I think even Target sells that. And then 1 bottle of this Natural Bliss sweet cream coffee creamer. So you're gonna put the whole bottle of that, the whole bottle of milk right into your inner pot. And then this is the yogurt starter that I used today. So this is called Wee, and I bought it at Kroger. This is just the plain vanilla. You could, of course, get other flavors if you like, but you only need 2 tablespoons of this, and this yogurt is delicious. So if you've never tried this particular brand, you'll really enjoy eating the leftovers while the rest of your yogurt is being made. So I'm gonna set this back here, and I'll tell you guys how to make this. So you're gonna put this, those ingredients right in your quick cooker. Use a stainless steel whisk it together, and then you're gonna put the lid on the top. Make sure your seal is not open. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit, or your vent is not open. We have a proof setting on our quick cooker. So our proof button is programmed to go up to 6 hours, but to make the yogurt, you need to let it proof for 8 hours. So what I typically do is I start with 2 hours, because I can typically plan to be around for those first 2 hours. And after the 2 hours is up, I set it for 6 more hours and let it continue to go from there. After 8 hours, you just turn it off, put your silicone lid on the top of your bowl like we talked about a few minutes ago, put it in the refrigerator overnight, and your yogurt is ready to go. So after that, I just transferred it over into this 8 1/4 cup leak-proof storage container, and you can see how beautiful this yogurt is. I'm gonna grab a spoon so that you can see just how nice and thick this yogurt is. And it tastes amazing. You're going to absolutely love it. So that's how you make the yogurt there. All right, so let's talk about another function that this pressure cooker has. There's a dessert function that you can use to make desserts, which is what I use to make the chocolate pudding. But guess what else you can make? You can make New York style cheesecake. So this is one of our cool and serve trays. I just have this in here for storage purposes to refrigerate this. So this actually has the base of our springform pan is still attached to the cheesecake. What you're gonna do to make the cheesecake is you're gonna use this rack and our springform pan. So just use your imagination that the bottom is still attached. You're gonna make your cheesecake according to the recipe that's in the quick cooking guide. You're gonna place this into your rack, and you're gonna lower it just like before. And you're always gonna put water in the bottom when you're steaming something, so water in the inner pot. Place your trivet in like this, and then you're going to, whoops, sorry about that. You're going to place this down into the pot. The recipe does require that you cover this one in aluminum foil. The reason you want to use foil and not the silicone lid that comes with the ceramic pot is because it is a vented lid, and you need a completely covered surface so that none of the water from the steam gets into the cheesecake. So you're going to use aluminum foil to make the cheesecake. And just like we mentioned before, you can take the microwave grips and you can lift this right outside of the quick cooker and set it aside. I do want to tell you about a couple of other accessories that you can use with your quick cooker, and then I'm going to tell you about all the functions that are available to you. So let's talk about accessories. So we have one trivet in here already. You can add an egg rack. You can purchase these in individually, or you can purchase them as a set of 2 with some prep bowls. I'll tell you about those in just a few minutes, but you can set this down inside. So let's pretend that you have a pot roast maybe underneath that trivet all the way into the bottom of this pot. Then you can place the steaming rack on the top here, and you can put corn on the cob, you could put bell peppers, you could put other vegetables right on the top and let those steam while you're cooking the food on the bottom. And you're going to use whatever function for the main recipe and the timing for that one. Let's say you wanted to hard boil 2 dozen eggs. So what you're going to do is you will actually take, you'll add some water to the pot here. We're not going to use this trivet for the eggs. You're going to take one of your racks, fill it with 1 dozen eggs, place it into the pot like this, so you guys can see what it looks like on the inside. Then you're going to fill another rack, add it on top of this rack, and you've got 2 dozen eggs that you'll be able to steam right in your quick cooker very, very quickly and easily. So another function that you can use these for, let's say you wanted to make small key lime pies or maybe creme brulee. We all love creme brulee, right? You can get 2 of these racks with a set of 6 of these 1-cup prep bowls. They also come with these little vented silicone lids. You just stretch this right over the top, and then you would place 3 of these with their lids into one rack, and then you could lower this down into the pot, just like we did the eggs. And then you could put another one in here and add more of the cups. I don't have 6 cups out right now, but I wanted to give you guys the idea of how to do this. So let's say that you made creme brulee in here and you aren't going to eat all of them at one time. These do come with a storage lid as well. So you can take the silicone lid off that you used when you were cooking them and place a sealed plastic lid over the top. So those are a few ideas for the egg racks. You can also cook chicken in the bottom, place this trivet on the top, put this rack on the top, and do like a corn on the cob or bell peppers for a salad or taco mixture, something like that. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about how you can reheat your food. So the instructions on how to reheat in the ceramic pot, the inner pot, and using some of our accessories will be on the printable that you can get in the recipe group. But I want to show you another product that you can use in the quick cooker. So what you could do is you could actually take our trivet, place this in here, and this is just an egg rack with the handles removed, so those are very easy to remove. Place this on the top, and then you're able to put a cake pan. This is one of our layer cake pans right on the top of that, and you can steam to reheat your leftovers in your quick cooker. Another idea, if you want, is you can place one of these racks in the bottom, place the pan on the top, and then use another rack like this. Take your cake pan, put it on the top, close it, and you'll be able to reheat 2 different things or 2 servings of the same thing if you want to do them separately right in these layer cake pans. Again, anything that's oven safe is going to be safe to go in your pressure cooker. So this is just 2 of the layer cake pans. So I'll set those aside, and then I want to show you a couple of other things. We do sell extra seals for your pressure cooker. So these are colored, so if you wanted to use the clear ones for your savory foods and the colored ones for your desserts, you could certainly do that. We do recommend a separate seal for anything that's not savory, so like the yogurt, the chocolate pudding, the elderberry syrup, all of those things, I want to use a seal that's not usually used with savory foods. I have a video on how to deep clean your quick cooker and your seals on the same page, so you can check that video out if you want a little bit more information on how to clean it and how to clean the seals. You can wash them in the dishwasher, but it is great to have a separate seal for your sweet and non-savory dishes. All right, so this is our stainless steel colander set. Now, they come as a set of 3, that's why I'm showing them all to you, but I want to show you guys the small colander. So this is great, which you can actually use this. I'm going to set this in here and swap out and put the steaming basket in. Whoops, I did it actually a little bit wrong. Let me do it the right way. Because this is elevated, you don't need the trivet, so you can just set this right down inside just like this, and you can use this in your pressure cooker. You can also use it without the handles if you wanted to. You could put it on the top like this and then use the microwave grips to take this out when you're done. So I used this when I was actually making the blueberry lime infused water. It makes it really easy because all of the fruit and the lime was in this container. So it automatically strains it out and I can just take that out and remove it. And then we've got delicious water as well. You can use the little microwave grips to take the trivet out when it is hot as well. So gotta get the microwave grips. So if I haven't convinced you yet, I bet I just did. All right. So again, if you have any questions, please leave them in the chat. I'm gonna move a couple of these things out of the way here. And I know I make tons of noise with these accessories. I want to talk to you about the functions of the pressure cooker. So let me set this aside so I can put the pressure cooker closer to me and closer to you. Whoops, I forgot I plugged it in. All right. So I want you to be able to see all of these functions on the pressure cooker. So I did disconnect the power so it's not lit up, but you just turn this dial and it will light up every function that you can use on your pressure cooker. So some of the things that you're going to be able to do with your pressure cooker, you've got a sear function, which is just like if I was to put a pot or a pan right on the stove top here and saute vegetables, do a stir fry, brown ground beef. Any of those things can be done on the first setting, which is the sear function. So you can also use that to reheat leftovers, but you do have to watch your pot because when you're using the sear function, you're not using this lid on the top. So the sear function is great to brown your meat before you're going to make a chili or a soup, and then you could choose one of the super chili buttons that we have on the product. The next button that you're going to find is the steam function. So you can steam your hard-boiled eggs. You can steam seafood if you want. We do have a fish and seafood button that you could use if you prefer, but they have the same pressure, so you could use steam or seafood. We also have a slow cooker option with the pressure cooker. So you can replace your crock pot when you purchase one of our pressure cookers, because this is a great product for you to use as a crock pot, and it has a delayed start function, so you can set it to start up to 4 hours later than you put the food in. So it basically has a delayed start of up to 4 hours. It can cook up to 10 hours, and it does automatically switch over to a warm function when it is done cooking. I do want to mention really quickly some of the safety features that we have before I tell you about all of the other functions. So you'll notice that there are some handles here. This makes it very, very easy for you to pick up and move from one place to another with it being under pressure or having hot food. It also gives you the ability to redirect the steam to go wherever you want it to go without being up underneath your counters or your cabinets rather, and not in the way of anyone that you care about. My favorite safety feature is going to be the steam release valve. So I'll hold this here so that you can see it. So it's about 3.5, 4 inches away from the steam cloud is our steam release button. So you see when you push this, it pops this steam cloud up to release the steam. So there's no more reaching from a distance to try to release your steam from the steam cloud because there's a safe release button right here. So I love that. There's also a red pin. You'll see it right here. It pops up just like a turkey at Thanksgiving. When turkey's done, the red button pops up. Well, with our quick cooker, when this pops up, it is going to let you know that the pot is under pressure, and it also locks the lid so you cannot take it off of the pot while it's under pressure. So let me stick this lid back on. Another safety feature about the Pampered Chef's pressure cooker is it has a stay cool body. So all of the exterior of this product is going to stay cool when you're using it. Since there's no stainless steel exposed, you do not have to worry about yourself or your family burning themselves if they graze their arm or hand across the side of the pot. So those are a couple of safety features. Some more of the functions, we've already talked about the proof function where you can proof your bread so that it rises faster. You can proof your homemade yogurt from a cold start method, just like I showed you earlier. There is a chicken and poultry button, so you can basically just choose the chicken button when you're going to cook chicken or poultry and press start. It's pre-programmed with the pressure and the amount of time. You can adjust that based on what you're cooking, and there are cooking guides inside of the cookbook. There is a beef and pork function, a fish and seafood function, soup and stock, white rice, brown rice, whole grains, there's a beans button, there's a stew and chili button, and a dessert button. So you have all of those features and functions right here on the front. You adjust them with the dial just like this. And it will light up and it'll show you the pressure and the time required right there on the front. So I bet you're a little bit overwhelmed by all of the things that you can do with your pressure cooker. But the really cool thing is once you get it and you've used it 2 or 3 times, it is going to be so easy for you to use and you will want to make everything with it. As you can see, I have shown you so many different things that you can make. If you can dream it up, you can make it in the pressure cooker. I always like to let my customers know that if you go to Pinterest, you're gonna find tons of pressure cooking recipes. You can Google electric pressure cooker recipes. I say Google, you could do the search within Pinterest for that. You could also search for Instapot recipes. You could do Pampered Chef quick cooker recipes. You're gonna find lots of recipes with all of those searches, and you can make all of them in your Pampered Chef quick cooker. So I hope you're excited about pressure cooking, and I hope that I have maybe taken away some of the fears that you might have getting started. I do want to tell you lastly that there are a couple things you want to check before you start pressure cooking to make sure everything works the way that it should. On the inside of your pressure cooker lid, there is a seal, like I showed you the colored seals a few minutes ago. The first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that your seal is in nice and tight. So before you start cooking, even if you think it looks like it's in there nice and tight, just run your fingers around the edge to make sure that it's sealed. The second thing that you want to do is that you want to make sure you have water or liquid of some sort in your pot, because you have to have some type of a liquid that's going to create steam within your pressure cooker so that you can actually pressure cook. And the third thing and the last thing is you want to make sure that your steam valve is not open when you're wanting to pressure cook. So when it's open, you're going to have this button depressed here and it's going to kind of wobble on the top here. So you want to make sure that the button is flush and not pressed in, and then you'll be able to put your lid on your pressure cooker, twist it to shut, and then you're going to set the program that you want it to use. So if you have any questions about pressure cooking or any of the products that I showed you here today, I hope you'll just leave a comment below or contact me by sending me a private message. I'll be more than happy to help you out anytime. I will add links to my recipe group. There will be the printable in that group. You can also find the cooking guide as a free download, or you can contact me to get your own copy for $2. I will also link to my personal website, so anytime that you want to place an order, you'll be able to do that as well. If you're interested in hosting a party or joining my team with our business opportunity, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name is Mindy Banks. I'm known as the Flip Flop Chef because I wear flip flops no matter what the weather is outside, and I hope to see you next time. Have a great day.